Disney. They've done so much for us over the years and created so many great memories. Their movies and characters have become so iconic today to the point where a world without Disney would just not be the same. And this is even more true when you consider how they have expanded over the years. From acquiring Pixar to Marvel Studios and even Star Wars, Disney has just become this huge juggernaut of a company, and it just makes a lot of us very excited for what they will do in the future. However, there is one area in which I think Disney is not doing a very good job on, and that area is their live action films. This is Jonathan from Just Nerds, and this is Why I, the series where one of us personally discusses something we love, hate, or just have such a passion for that we need to talk about it. So on my first attempt at the Why I series, I will be talking about why I don't care about Disney's live action films. So my feelings on this subject actually started with movies not produced by Disney. A while ago, I guess some people thought it would be a good idea to make films based on old fairy tales. The first two films I remember doing this were Beastly and Red Riding Hood. Beastly was a modern retelling of Beauty and the Beast, while Red Riding Hood was just a odd retelling of Red Riding Hood. However, both films got pretty bad reviews, and since I did see Beastly, I could say that the negative reviews were pretty accurate. But that wasn't the end with these kind of films. Next, we got a retelling of Snow White where Kristen Stewart plays Snow White who becomes a warrior. Yeah, that wasn't very good either. Some of the visuals were interesting, but the film was very forgettable as a whole. And for some reason, we got more of them, like Jack the Giant Slayer and Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. By this time, I was getting pretty tired of these reimaginings and just didn't see the point behind any of them. I mean, I like the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, but that doesn't mean I want to see Jack the Giant Slayer. These films just seemed lazy and overall uninspired. And that's where Disney finally comes into this. Now, I didn't realize this until I did some research, but this all started with Disney in 2011 with Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. Now, Tim Burton actually developed the story, which serves as a sequel to the original animated classic, Alice in Wonderland. And my opinions of that is the same as Snow White and the Huntsman. Some interesting visuals, but still not a very good movie. But despite what I think, it grossed over $1.02 billion worldwide. That's crazy. So I'm guessing with the huge financial success Alice in Wonderland had, the executives over at Disney got this crazy idea of, hey, why not just make live action films over our other animated works? That will get us some money. So that brings us to about a year ago, when Disney released their new movie Maleficent in theaters, which would serve as a retelling of Sleeping Beauty through the eyes of the villain. And this sounded interesting, since Maleficent is one of, if not the best, Disney villain of all time. But in the end, it was really disappointing. The visuals were neat, again, but they didn't improve the character of Aurora very much. They made the fairies just dumb idiots, presented just some really cliche characters like the king, and the worst offense, took one of the most iconic Disney villains of all time, gave her this really odd revenge story, which made her less of a villain while also weakening her character at the same time, and just giving us this weird excuse to sympathize with her when that isn't the point of Maleficent at all. But despite that, it made Disney a buttload of money, so they moved on to their next movie, Cinderella. Now, I'm going to be honest, I still haven't seen the live-action Cinderella movie, so I can't give a personal opinion on it. However, I have heard good things about it, so that's good, but in the end, I just have no interest in watching it. And that's what leads into my main reason for not caring about Disney's live-action films. They just seem so unnecessary. I mean, like I said, Disney makes great animated movies, Frozen made them a ton of money, they have Pixar, they have Marvel Studios, and even Star Wars. It's not like Disney is struggling in any way financially. And you can make the argument of, well, Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella are old films. They aren't very relevant anymore, so these films are ways of getting new interest for these characters after so many years. And first, while I would say there is some weight to that argument, there are still people who dress as Cinderella and Aurora at Disneyland. There is still merchandise for those old characters, and you still see little girls dressed as them for Halloween. Obviously, there is still interest in Disney's older characters, but let's say Disney does want to give some of their old films more interest. Why not just take it out of the Disney Vault and re-release it into another Platinum Edition or something like that? Or why not just re-release it in theaters like they did with Lion King and Beauty and the Beast a few years ago? And let's say for argument's sake that these live-action films are a good way to get new interest for their older films, then why are they making a live-action film of Beauty and the Beast? That's a film that hasn't aged one bit since its release in 1991, and people still regard it as one of the best Disney films of all time. And my last argument would be to those who say, well, a lot of the upcoming films aren't out yet, so you can't really judge them now. And yes, that's fair. Any of their upcoming films could be good. Heck, they could even be great. But that's the thing, they could be good. While I heard Cinderella was good, I didn't think the same about Alice in Wonderland and Maleficent. So let's look at the upcoming live-action films that Disney has planned that are solely based on their old animated films, just to get an idea about what we're working with here. There's Mulan, Beauty and the Beast, Dumbo, directed by Tim Burton, The Jungle Book, directed by Jon Favreau, Pinocchio, Tink, Winnie the Pooh? Wait, a sequel to Alice in Wonderland? The first one wasn't even that good. Well, out of all of these, the only ones that I have some sort of faith in are Mulan and Beauty and the Beast, because at least those have some sort of potential. But other than that, I can't say I have much faith in these upcoming films. And I can almost guarantee that no matter how well these films do, years later, everyone will still remember the animated films and view them more fondly than the live-action films. Because I know that no matter how good Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson is, I will still prefer watching the animated film any day. And I know some people are excited for Emma Watson's performance, and maybe some people will prefer the live-action film over the animated one. But this video is about why I, personally, do not care about Disney's live-action films. And even though this was a negative video for the most part, I still love Disney. I love all of their animated classics, and I believe they're doing a great job with Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. But of course, no company is perfect, and this is one of the few areas that I think Disney is not doing very well on. So those were my thoughts on why I don't care for Disney's live-action films. So what do you think of this topic? Do you feel the same way? Or are you really excited for what Disney has planned? Post your thoughts down in the comments below, because I'm really interested in what you guys think. And while you're at it, why not subscribe to check out our future videos, like more of our Why I series, because this segment is a lot of fun, and we do plan to do a lot more of these. And a quick shout out to our good friend Joseph Pendis for making this amazing drawing for the channel. Thanks buddy, we really appreciate it. So that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.